Hey everyone, how you doing? This is going to be the update video for Snapshot 23W43A for Java Edition. This is going to focus again on the 1.21 features, which you can enable in a new world under the experiments. I don't think there's actually any 1.20.3 features here, just the 1.21 stuff. I meant to do a video last week for 1.20, for 23W42A, but I was having some trouble properly explaining the redstone for the crafter and kind of just gave up on it after a while because it wasn't really turning out how I wanted. So that being said, there's not too much to this one. That being said, we do have the addition of the copper and the tuff blocks that were mentioned during Minecraft Live. Now you're gonna notice I do have the copper blocks laid out here. I'm gonna cover the tuff blocks really quickly because that's gonna be the quickest thing for me to cover. So all the tuff blocks can be crafted in the stone cutter as well as in the regular crafting table. So we have basically just all the regular variants of blocks just in tuff form now. Nothing really new here in terms of the block styles that we have. We just finally have it for tuff now, which I know is going to be really good for a lot of builders. More block palettes and just a lot more to work with here. And like I mentioned, you can put everything in the stone cutter. And you have all the regular stuff in the stone cutter here to do with that as well. So that's pretty much straightforward for the tuff. I still need that stone cutter for later. Now, one thing, or what I'm going to go over here now, is the copper blocks. There are quite a few new copper blocks. So over here to start with, we do have the chiseled copper. And as such with every copper block, you have your waxed and non-waxed variants. All different oxidation levels. The copper grate. Now we also have the copper doors and the copper trap doors. Now these, I was thinking that they would end up functioning like iron, where you could only open them with a redstone pulse, but according to the notes and just me messing around with it, it is also opened by regular player interaction, which also means, according to the notes, it can be opened by mobs as well. So keep that in mind if you're using this for builds, because you have to place the doors a certain way for zombies to not break the door down, basically in hard mode. So that is the deal with the chiseled copper and the chiseled copper grates, the doors, and the trap doors. Now, the chiseled copper and the copper grates can actually be crafted in the stone cutter as well. So I put this here. I've got everything here: chiseled copper, copper grate, and then it also now lets me do the cut copper slabs, and the cut copper stairs in the stone cutter as well. And obviously, you can do that with all different oxidation levels. That is not a thing for the doors and the trap doors. You have to craft those manually. Now, what confuses me a little bit about this is the crafting recipe is full blocks for 3 doors. That seems a little bit expensive. I know obviously copper is very easy to come by, which might be why it's so expensive. I was kind of expecting it to work like the iron doors and the iron trap doors, in that it would use ingots. But see, both the doors and the trapdoors use full blocks. And like I said, because they're so easy to come by, that might be why it's so expensive at face value, but not really all that bad maybe at the end of the day. Hey, this is just a quick note. I realized when I was editing, I forgot to show the recipes for the chiseled copper blocks and the copper grates in the crafting table. For the chiseled copper blocks, it's just going to be 2 cut copper slabs with the same oxidation levels stacked up and down like this. Pretty straightforward with that. Obviously, for the wax, you're just doing it like this, or just use the honeycomb on it when it's on the ground. And for the copper grate, you have 4 copper blocks with the same oxidation level set up like this. So unless you have shapeless crafting data packs, this probably will not work in your inventory. So in the crafting table, you have 4 copper blocks like this, and you get 4 copper grates at the same oxidation level. Hold on. Yeah, same oxidation level. Now, what's interesting here, we have the copper bulbs now. Once again, all the different variations, all the different oxidation levels. Now, obviously, you can't craft something like this in the stone cutter. If I look at the recipe in the crafting table, it is 3 copper blocks of shared oxidation level, redstone, which is going to make sense in a second, and a blaze rod for the light source. I was not expecting a blaze rod. I was kind of expecting either a torch or a lantern, something like that. But I guess that makes it a little bit harder, obviously, to craft. You can't necessarily craft it in the beginning because you do have to get blaze rods now. Now, what you're going to notice here is I have comparators out the back here with redstone and 15 redstone lamps. No matter what oxidation level the bulb is, you will get a comparator signal strength of 15. Now, obviously the light levels are different. I don't have my mods that show it, but obviously you can see this is a lot brighter than it is here. For the light level, look at the copper bulb. The main copper bulb is a light level of 15. The exposed copper bulb is a light level of 12. Weathered is a light level of 8, and oxidized is a light level of 4. So that's all pretty straightforward. Now, what is interesting here is you're going to notice that I have these little dots on the side to show that I have a redstone pulse coming into it. If I turn off the lever, you see the redstone pulse goes away, but it's still on. This is an intended feature. This is mentioned in the update notes. I have to give it another pulse to turn it off, and you see that it has a redstone pulse, but now there's no more comparator signal strength. So the comparator signal strength only happens when the light is on. It is irrelevant whether or not there's a redstone pulse going into it. The comparator is actually reading the light level, which is kind of interesting now that I think about it and say this out loud. And just to show you here, I can just completely break the lever. So now there's no redstone pulse, but it's still outputting a signal strength of 15 all the way down. Put a lever down. See, signal strength of 0. There's a redstone pulse, but there's no light. So this is 100% reading the light level instead of the redstone strength, which is interesting. Hey, just another editing note here. I realized that I don't know how to explain anything properly, apparently, because I just said that the bulbs give out a different light level. So the comparator is not reading light level or redstone pulse. It's simply reading whether or not the bulb is on, and it gives a signal strength of 15. Light level and redstone pulse are relevant to the actual redstone signal that is given out the back of the copper bulb. So sorry about that. Other than that, there's not too many more updates for this one. The bat got a new texture. I'm just kind of go in an enclosed area here so I can kind of control the bat a little bit. So you see the bat.png file got updated in the resource pack a little bit. It seems to have a bit more detail than before. So that's that. We also have a new sound effect for the Ender Pearl. So not when you're throwing, but when it lands, it will make the teleportation sound. Like that. So now we get the teleportation sound as if it's a shulker or an enderman. We get the proper teleportation sound like that. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Other than that, we do have, I believe everything else is just, the data pack version is now version 22. The resource pack version is version 20 for anybody making data packs and resource packs for these snapshots. That's important for you. Other than that, we have a regular round of technical changes and our bug fixes. I'll go ahead and put the link for the official article in the description so you can take a look at that. I'm not really going to go over those too much. But yeah, so that is 23W43A. Hopefully 44A and any future snapshots have less complicated redstone for me to figure out than the autocrafter, which I know is simple for a lot of people, but not for me. I love redstone, but I'm bad at it. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.